we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Activating Activism. I've got an incredible young activist with me here today. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Skye and I'll let her introduce herself. Hi there, Skye. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Skye and I'm 11 years old and I live on the west coast of Wales in the Snowdonia National Park.
Fantastic. So tell me, Skye, what was it that first got you into activism?
Probably living very close to Fairborn because we had lots, Greenpeace came here to do a report on the flooding. So that sort of got me started when I was about 7. And then I sort of just learned more and more. And then it kind of started when I sort of almost subscribed to magazines, and then lots came unwrapped or in paper envelopes. And then I got one which came like this. So it was wrapped in plastic with blister packaging and plastic toys, like this hand. And it can't pick up anything. It's like, why do you even want this thing? Yeah. So then it sort of just went from there. So then I sort of wrote to the publishers of this magazine and they replied saying they really cared, but. Just but. So then I started the petition, which was so easy to do, and we shared it on social media. We wrote letters to Greenpeace and all like powerful people. And then our local newspaper ran the article, which then got seen by bigger newspapers, and then they went on to bigger newspapers. And then the BBC interviewed me, which got mentioned everywhere, including on Radio 4, which was heard by the senior manager from Waitrose. And then he went into a Waitrose store and saw, this is like, there's so much plastic on these and it's all pointless. So then after 8 days, Waitrose agreed that we should stop selling this. This is rubbish. And then it kind of all went a little bit mad with live radio, live TV, and lots of newspapers and magazines. And I was featured on the CBBC News Round. National Geographic Kids that actually made a very cool cartoon of me as a picture. And we then worked with Common Seas and their Ocean Plastics Academy, Kids Against Plastic and Surfers Against Sewage, to help inspire other kids to join in, take action and make a big difference. There's my one. And so then I won the Surfers Against Sewage Youth Activist Award for 2021. And we're now talking to lots of other retailers, and hopefully they will follow Waitrose and stop selling this plastic rubbish.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, I love how it starts from this very small seed of, you get this thing and you think, this isn't really okay. And it's just, it's exploded. This seed has grown into an enormous tree that just encompasses everything. It's absolutely incredible. Obviously, we're going to put the link to the petition down here, and I'll put it in my link tree at the top here as well, so everybody can get on there and sign it. It's absolutely incredible. So all of this by the age of 11. I'm trying to think what I'd achieved by the age of 11. Oof. I mean, I don't know. I think I could. I genuinely don't know what I'd achieved by the age of 11, but I think I'd heard of the term. It wasn't global warming then. We had a different name for it when I was 11. The greenhouse effect is what we called it back then. And then it became global warming. And then I think it became climate change. And now I think everybody's waking up and realizing it isn't just climate change now. It's actually a climate crisis. And it's just brilliant that there are young people like you who are out there making a difference, making a big difference. Let's be honest. I've spoken to lots of different activists as well, and it's amazing to see that people get their own kind of idea, their own niche, as it were, and they take it. And the way this has grown is just, it's incredible. It's out of this world. I mean, I don't imagine you could have thought how big this would get when you
No.
started the petition.
So yeah,
No.
I didn't really think it would get very big.
I mean, I remember Harry. So hi everyone. I'm Skye's dad. I'm Dave. So I remember I'm the local postman, and I delivered. So I delivered the offensive comic to our house, and I brought it to Skye, and she literally said, "That's it. I've had enough." And then when I'd finished my round, the letter was already written. So she'd already just gone, right, that's it, I've had enough. I'm writing to the publishers. So she'd written a letter then. And then the reply, as Skye's pointed out, was just rubbish. So I think that for me was when I saw the spark kind of ignite, and the fire in this little person lit, and she just said, this is just not acceptable. And then she just, ever since then, there's been this drive in her just to go, this is not right. And then that sort of stems, that spreads out to her friends, it spreads out to almost, I mean, we walk along the street now and she will not pass by a piece of rubbish on the floor. You know, you just...
Which gets annoying when you don't bring a bag, so then you end up with armfuls of rubbish.
But even, Harry, even to the point, we'll sit on the train, we try and use public transport, so we'll sit on the train, we'll pull into a station, and she'll wonder whether she has time to run off the train to pick up the plastic bottle that's on the platform and jump back on the train. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
I didn't risk it that time.
No.
I wanted to go climbing.
Yeah.
It is kind of I know what you mean, that thing about litter, that when you walk past it in the street, it is, I'm the same. I find it impossible to leave it. So I have like gloves just in my bag and plastic bags in my bag that I take everywhere with me, because like I can't just leave it. It's something within me that's, I don't know. I've never been a fan of litter on the street, obviously. But it's something the last few years that I cannot leave it there on the street. And I wish there were more people like you, Skye, like us, who have that kind of aversion to it. And then it does hopefully spread to other people, and maybe they'll stop just dropping it on the floor. Now, you are a young person, as has been pointed out, as is quite apparent. And I love how what you've done, you've taken this passion, and you've obviously learned a lot about other areas of environmentalism. But like me, like other people in the world, we don't know everything. We never will know everything. But what would you like to be taught at school? What sort of things do you think need to be brought into the curriculum, into the education system? What needs to be taught at school?
Mainly just the basics, like don't litter. How is plastic made? What does making plastic, how does that affect the wildlife? Why do oil spills harm animals? And why is litter so bad for our environment? And like all the other subjects, there's fast fashion, there's the food industry, there's like sewage pollution. We just need to teach the basics, not anything like too tricky to understand.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think, yeah, starting particularly here in Spain, there's a new law that children need to be able to leave primary school with a global awareness and an awareness of sustainable behaviors. So, you know, starting with that. And something I always do with my students is, so I'll go out and do a litter pick, but that's like almost the end of the life cycle of a bottle, for example, or it's thought of as the end because then it'll go out into the ocean for 450 years and, you know, do awful things. But I like to take that plastic bottle and I like to show the students, you know, where it came from as well. You know, they see their plastic bottle, they go and buy their bottle of water or whatever, and they see that as being that's it. But, you know, you have to look back to where it came from, you know, all of the products that went into making it, the energy that was used to make it, to then, and then what's going to happen afterwards as well, to kind of just raise that awareness about it. And I think that's something that I really love about Kids Against Plastic. I know that's where we met. That's where I got to see your petition firsthand. I am not a kid against plastic. I wish I was. I think I'm a little bit too old to get in there. I live through my daughter for Kids Against Plastic, and it's something that I really love seeing in that kind of environment, is the way that, you know, Amy and Ella obviously have their sessions where they teach us kids about you know, the dangers of plastic and the areas about climate change around that. But what I also love is the opportunity for the other Kids Against Plastic to share their ideas and share their opinions and their views and what they're passionate about. And I absolutely love the kind of presentations in there. And I've learned so much from these other Kids Against Plastic that it's something that's really helped me as a teacher and as an adult, that what we really need to be doing is listening.
Yeah.
Kids have so much to say that we do need to be listening. So what would you like to say? What would you like us to listen to from the younger generation?
I mean, my first one would obviously be ban plastic toys and comics and magazines. But it's just stop doing the things that are obviously harming our planet. Why are we making new coal mines when we could be using that money to make new wind farms or solar farms? Or why are the water companies and the waste companies just dumping all the sewage into the sea? They need to have more common sense. Look, this is really bad. This is wrong. And it's been wrong for years. And everyone's known it's wrong, but we're just not listening.
It is about time that we sat up and listened, let's be honest. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to sign off now with episode 4 of Activating Activism. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to see you very soon anyway at the next Kids Against Plastic meeting. But it's been great speaking to you today. So thank you very much for your time.
That's fine.
Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye-bye.